The warm-up that I have for us, class, is actually going to be centered around the stability ball. We do not have to use the ball. We're not going to be sitting on it like we do in our other stability ball warm-up. This is more of our manipulative ball warm-up. But if you don't have a ball, maybe you haven't wanted to use it so far, or maybe you'd rather use just nothing at all, or your dumbbells, just kind of go ahead and pick and choose. I'm going to do all the exercises here with the stability ball in hand, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now, the first exercise that I have for us, remember these all can be with whatever you want or nothing, is going to be our front circles. So I'm going to find a good athletic position. My hips and knees bent, my back will be nice and flat, and I'm just going to work on drawing a big circle in the air with my stability ball. There we go. We're just going to go for about 20 seconds in each direction here. I don't have my stopwatch right now, so I'm just going to count. It's in my pocket. There we go. Get those shoulders moving here. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Now I'm going to let my shoulders kind of relax a little bit here. And now we're going to go back the other direction. Remember, we want to be, we want to be balanced in terms of direction there. Go ahead for another about 20 seconds or so. Now we're just drawing big circles in the air the other direction with that stability ball. Very nice. Like we're stirring a big pot. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. I'm going to let the stability ball come back down. Give my shoulders a little rest. I'm going to get my stopwatch out and make sure I have that for the rest of the exercises. Now, the next movement I want to go into is going to be our overhead raises. So I'm going to start with this ball out in front. I think a side view will probably do the best for this exercise. From my athletic position, I'm just going to raise the ball up and bring it right back down. All right, I'm controlling all phases of this movement. I'm not slamming it. I'm not raising it up fast. I'm just going up and down at a nice pace. We'll go for about 20 seconds here with this one, and then we'll move on from there. Checking my time. About 7 seconds left here, class. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. I'm going to let those shoulders relax for a second. Now from here, class, I want to go into a little bit of core work, and we're going to start off with our standing torso twist. Now this one, I'm going to go with what I could probably describe as a goblet hold, right, with this big stability ball. Good athletic position. I'm just going to get a nice twist each side. Keep your lower body facing forward. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. My voice might sound a little different, kind of echoing off the ball here. Just try to get your chest turned all the way to the wall on either side of you as you go back and forth. Keep your head facing forward if you need to, if you're feeling dizzy. Just keep the lower body facing forward while the upper body turns and looks the various directions, left and right. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now from here, I actually want to go into a little bit of a lateral weight shift. All right. This is going to be similar to our cross-body punches. I'm going to find a good athletic position, and you're actually going to want a good view of my feet here. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. There we go. So good athletic position here with the ball in hand. What I'm going to do is push the ball out to my side. If you see there, my foot on the opposite side of my reach is doing a little pirouette, kind of showing the top of my shoelaces to the ball there. That means that my weight is now shifted to my foot that's on the same side as my reach, right? So I'm reaching to my left side right now. That means all my weight's on my left foot. Then I'm going to come back to neutral, the same thing the other direction. This little pirouette action in there. All right, we can go at our own pace. There's no reason to rush this movement here. Let's go back and forth. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. Hopefully you got plenty of space to move this way in your home, especially if there's two of you, and if you're both using a ball there. 10 more seconds here, class. Very nice. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very nice. I actually use that exercise quite a bit when I'm teaching children how to rotate properly in tennis. Right? We think about, and I don't want you to do this here, but we're just working on being able to swing that ball and get the hip into it, get the rotation into that shot there. That's a very useful exercise, right? It also teaches good weight shifting, a little bit of balance in there too for everybody, all right? But last two exercises I have for us are going to be a little more lower body focused. The first one's going to be that goblet mini squat that we've done in the past. If you remember, we do about 15 of those. So I'm going to do my best to make sure I remember that. But I'm going to find a good athletic position. And this mini squat is what we would just call a quarter squat, right? We're just coming down about a fourth of the way and then coming back up. Pinch those glutes at the top here like we do with our glute bridge, RDL, deadlift, all that good stuff, right? And we're just going to get 15 quick ones. All right, go ahead and start with me. I'm just going to start counting to 15 here. Ready? Quick squats here. Ready? All that. Here we go. 1, 2, quick ones. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very good. Now, I like that little glute pinch in there because that's going to set us up nicely for the next exercise, which is the last one in our warm-up, okay? And that's going to be our deadlift into the hip thrust. Now, if you're not using a ball, you're just going to be doing that hip thrust that we did. That might have even been the workout on Friday that we did those hip thrusts. But if we got a ball, we can have that placed in the ground in front of us. Good athletic position like we're doing our deadlift with the laundry basket here. I'm gonna get a nice pickup and then thrust those hips forward, get that ball to come up. And remember, I'm gonna pinch my glutes here before I come back down. Remember to pinch your glutes at the top of the rep and then come back down and start. We're gonna get 10 of those together and then we're gonna move into the workout. I'll give a little countdown here, all right? 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Come on up. Get that hip thrust back down. That's 1, 2. These are a little quicker as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9, and 10. Very good. Now, I actually can place this ball back over here and make sure I do a good job of pinning it underneath the table. We're done with our warm-up here, class. I'm going to take us into our workout next, okay? And the first exercise in our workout is going to be our squat progression, all right? So, as always, the beginning of our squat progression, the double leg extension. I can be up against the seat or out in front. Keep that good posture. Both legs together. We got 10 reps there. All right. Next up here, sit to stand. All right. I can either cross the arms or put the arms out in front. Make double sure you know where that chair is. Come on up and come back down with control. Don't forget, we also have the option of going with the staggered stance. Okay. So remember, the leg that's getting more work is the back leg. The leg that's out in front is getting a little more of a stretch. Okay, and we can do this staggered stance with the sit to stand and the body weight squat, right? That's the last part of this progression. How far in front you have your foot depends on you. If you're gonna choose that staggered stance, I like to put my foot out far enough to where there's actually almost an entire foot length between my toes on my back foot and my toes on my front foot, right? So just kind of seeing that. I can show it again in the body weight squat that I'm going to demonstrate here. Once again, staggered stance, right? About an entire foot from here to here, the heel on my front foot is on a line with the toes on my back foot there, all right? So, but again, that's just me. You do whatever's comfortable for you. We can also go with our body weight squat. Oops, body weight squat here, all right? And it might help if you're doing the staggered stance with the body weight squat. It might help to keep those toes turned out a little bit as well. Might be a little more comfortable on those knees, all right? But again, arms crossed or arms out. You can also hold your weights there if you'd like. So 4 sets of 10 there for that one. That way, if you are doing the staggered stance, you can get 2 on one side, 2 on the other, right? As far as your orientation there, left or right, out in front. The exercise I want to pair with that is going to be our upper body pull, okay? And that's going to be our bent over row. Bent over row will be from the athletic position. I'm going to work on pulling the dumbbells up to my armpits and coming right back down, all right? Make sure that back is good and flat. We want to make sure that we're accentuating that lean, right? We don't want to be pulling from straight up. That becomes a different exercise, okay? So make sure we're keeping that back flat, keeping that good lean forward. Don't forget, we can also use the band for this as well, right? That double leg anchor. Wrap up some excess if you need to. You can pull those handles up to the armpits the same way you do the dumbbells, all right? Now, I'd like us to get started with the squat progression. So remember, that's a double leg extension, sit to stand or squat. And I'm going to start with that sit to stand. I'm going to go with the staggered stance option. And I'm going to start out with these shoes are getting ratty from tennis lessons all summer long. But I'm going to go into a staggered stance option with my left foot out in front and my right foot in back. Now, hopefully I do a good job of remembering my orientations, right? You got to remember that from set to set, what we did the last time. So make sure you know where that chair is. If you're doing the sit to stand, we're going to get started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Coming up and back down. That's 1, 2, put my chair on there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Very good. And I can definitely feel that back leg, that right leg, especially the hamstrings and the glutes, is getting more work than the leg out in front, right? And that's a good transition, right? I mean, it's great to work both legs together, but that single leg work there is what's more functional than anything else, right? Think about how much you're in a single leg stance when you're walking, when you're running, how many times one single leg at a time keeping you upright. It's also great for your balance too. So let's get those weights or resistance bands out for the bent over row. This is also going to be 4 sets of 10. Again, just make sure that your back is nice and flat as you accentuate that lean. Let's go ahead and go right into this set here. Ready? Coming up and back down. That's 1. Pinch those shoulder blades together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Very good. Making sure that we're pinching those shoulder blades on every single rep is crucial, right? Now, I'll go with a frontal view this time, right? So I can talk about the knees, right? Even if we're in a staggered stance, right? Especially if we're not in a staggered stance, we want to make sure those knees are shoving out, right? Just like we talked about that lunge last week, the outside of the knee going to the walls on either side of you, okay? So I'm going to do these sit to stand now with the left leg back. Again, you continue doing whatever you're most comfortable with. Let's go ahead and go right into the second set here. Ready? Going up and back down. There we go. That's 1. 2. I wasn't 100% sure of where that chair was there. All right, I think that's 4 right there. Skip 3. 5. 6, shoving those knees out. That's 7. 8. 9. And 10. Very good. And I actually went with a little bit shallower of a staggered stance there. I brought my heel back a little bit on that one. All right. Just continue to do whatever's comfortable for you there at home. Okay. Now, second set for the bent over row coming up here. I'm now going to go with the band. So I'm going to make or establish that double leg anchor. And I'm going to continue with a side view. I'm going to wrap up a little excess for myself and find the exact same position as everyone else. Let's go ahead and go right into this second set. Ready? Coming up and back down. That's 1, 2. Good shoulder pinch in every rep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. I think that was 10. That's 2 sets down already. We're already halfway through this first superset. Now, I'm going to go with the body weight squat now for these last 2 sets. So I'm actually going to put the chair away. There we go. But again, you keep doing whatever's best for you. I'm going to go with a side view for this one, and I got to get my right leg back just based on what I did in that first set. All right? So go ahead and get yourself situated. We're going to get started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Going back down and back up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. That's 3 sets down. I'm going to go to the third set now of this bent over row. I'm going to go, oops, almost dropped my dumbbell there. That would have been loud. All right. But I'm going to go with the forward view this time and hold on to my dumbbells. Okay. Let's knock out our third set. Let's go ahead and go right into it. Ready? Coming up and back down. That's 1, 2. I can see my shadow doing the rows with me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. That's 3 sets down on each. Let's go to our last set now of the squat progression. And I'm going to do the body weight squat once again. And now I think I need to have my left leg back. Yep. Left leg's going to go back. I'm going to get a little shallower staggered stance. And I'm just using that word shallow to describe the width of my feet, right? So I guess a deeper stance is going to be at my feet all the way out here. I don't know why you want to squat here. That's basically a lunge at this point, right? But yeah, I'm going to get my feet a little closer together so that's not quite the same staggered stance. Let's go ahead and go right into this set here. Ready? You go right into it. Coming down, back up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Awesome. That is it for the squat progression. You still got to get that last set of the bent over row, okay? I'm going to do this one with the band. I'll go with a front view once again here too. So I'll get my double leg anchor, got my handles wrapped up and ready to go. Got my nice bent over position. Let's go right into this set. Ready? Coming up and back down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. That's already it for our first superset. We're going to go into our second one here. Our lower body exercise that we're going to do for this second superset is going to be our RDL. Okay? So just so similar to that bent over row to the point where there was one day I was calling each exercise the other one by accident, right? I don't normally have the row and the RDL in the same workout for that very reason. But just gonna have to focus and make sure that I keep the names straight. So the RDL, just remember that same starting position. I'm coming back down to about mid-shin and back up, pushing those hips back, keeping that back nice and flat. Don't forget, just like with that row, we can also do the RDL with the band, right? Set up the same way, bring the handles down the same way we do that RDL, okay? 4 sets of 10 there to keep it consistent with the first superset. Now the upper body exercise that I want to pair with that is actually going to be our overhead press or lateral raise option if we're a little wary of the resistance going above our head. Now, if you remember, we can always start off seated, okay? And that's for just pretty much any upper body exercise. We can do just about any upper body one seated, right? But I want us to have our hands, whether we're using a band or dumbbell here in the seated position with the palms facing the body. I've got them kind of in front of my collarbones here. I'm going to rotate my palms outward as I press up, and I'm going to bring my palms back in to face my body as I come back down. That'll be 10 reps for that one. Don't forget with the resistance band, we do the same thing. Now our rear ends become the anchor, right? So we're sitting on that band, all right? I can wrap up excess if I want to, but I don't think I need to wrap up excess here. I think this is going to be plenty challenging as is. But palms are facing the body once again, and manipulate those handles the exact same way as I would those dumbbells, rotating the palm out and coming back in. Now, you are free to use the dumbbells in a standing overhead press. I would avoid doing the band with the standing overhead press, all right? And that's plenty tough in the seated position as is with that resistance band. Now, don't forget that lateral raise option. You can always go with the bent arm raise. So now I got my dumbbells back. I got my elbows bent about 90 degrees. I'm going to lift up almost like I'm getting set up for my goalposts, right? And coming right back down, okay? It's going back and forth between those two positions. Now, if I want to make that tougher, I'm going to extend at the elbow, and now I'm going to come out and forward slightly, right? Remember, we're not going out just straight out, right? I don't want to keep my arms in the plane of my body here. I want to go forward just a little bit as I raise up and come back down. That's going to be better for our shoulder blades there, our shoulder mechanics, okay? It's the opposite of that lateral leg raise when we're not just going out, but we're also going back a little bit, right? So we got to make sure that we're mindful of the directions of our movement, okay? Everything for this superset will be 4 sets of 10. And I am going to move this chair. We'll do the RDL to start. All right, so I'm going to find my athletic type position. And let's go ahead and go right into this first set here. Ready? Go ahead. Coming back down and back up. That's 1. Push those hips back here. That's 2. Keeping that back nice and flat. That's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Okay, so I'm actually going to go, I'm going to get the chair out. And I'm going to go with the resistance band here. I'm trying to do math in my head to figure out when I'm going to be starting that cardio superset already, just based on where I'm at. So hopefully that mental math doesn't mess up my calendar. I'm gonna go for the upper body choice. I'm gonna go with my seated option with the resistance band here. All right, so palms are facing the body. You continue to do whichever exercise is best for you. And let's go ahead and go right into this first set here. Ready? I'm coming up and back down. That's 1. Yep, and this is plenty difficult just from sitting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. So that's 1 set down on each. I'm going to move the chair out of the way. Probably won't use that again until the next superset. All right. But I'm going to go back now to the RDL. I'm going to go with a front view this time. I'll use the weights again. Find that good athletic position. Let's go ahead and go right into the second set here. Ready? I'm coming down and back up. That's number 1. 2, 3, getting good control here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. That's 2 sets down. Let's go ahead and go into our upper body choice here. And I'm just going to keep my dumbbells, and I'll go with a standing overhead press here. All right, I'm going to make sure I get my good distance, or I could actually do this. I'll do my kneeling position there. All right, again, nobody at home has to kneel. I just do this for the camera, right? But let's get our second set going. Let's go ahead and go right into it. Ready? I'm coming up and back down. That's 1. Get that good palm rotation as you go up and back down. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good control here. That's 9. Last 1. And 10. Very good. We are already 2 sets into each exercise, right? Or halfway through. The RDL that I'm going to do now is going to be with the resistance band. All right. So my third set, I'm going to do a side view, and I'm going to go with the band here. Okay. Now, wrap up some excess. Let's go ahead and go right into this third set here. Ready? Oops. Coming down and back up. That's 1, 2. Pinch those glutes here. 3, forgot to say that earlier. 4, pinch those glutes at the top. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. So pinching the glutes is something that's easy to forget, right? I even do. I certainly forgot to talk about pinching the glutes on those first 2 sets, but I did it there on that third set. Hopefully you've been doing it all along, but if you just started doing it on that third set, you might also notice the same difference that I do now in the difference I feel in these posterior chain muscles between just doing the RDL without the pinch and doing the RDL with the pinch, especially for all 10 reps, right? It makes a big difference in the muscular effort, okay? Now, my third set of the upper body choice, I'm gonna go with the lateral raise with the bent arm, okay? Got my dumbbells here. Let's go ahead and go right into the exercise of your choice. Ready? I'm coming up and back down. That's 1. Like I'm setting up for my goal post. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. That's 3 sets down for each exercise. My last set of my RDL is going to be with the resistance band once again, and I'm going to go with a frontal view where I can talk about those knees again, right? For that RDL, we also want to think about shoving the knees out there too, and that's something I don't talk about as much, right? But something else we want to be thinking about, just little details here and there to keep kind of adding on. Gonna work on shoving those knees out. And I'm sure all of you have been doing it already, but just kind of working on coming down and back up, keeping a good athletic position, right? So let's go ahead and go right into this last set. Ready? Coming down and back up. That's 1. Pinch those glutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Getting a glute pinch on that last set as well. Now, for the last set of the upper body choice here, before we move into our last superset, I'm going to go with the straight arm lateral raise. Okay, again, going out and forward slightly. Okay, but you continue to do whatever's best for you. Let's get this last set going. Ready? Go ahead and go right into it. Coming up and back down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Very nice. That is it for our last set there. I like rolling the dumbbells. Hopefully that wasn't too loud on the camera there, but that's it for our last set there on the second superset. I'm going to go into our third superset, and some of you might have done this exercise. We've gotten into a habit of doing this with our squat, which is fine. I just figured I'd put the row in there today, right? Get a pull with a push between the upper and lower. But for this one, for our shoulder work here, I want to do our band pull apart, okay? So if you remember, I like to have the band here for this one. If we have to use dumbbells, if you prefer the dumbbells, we can do that too. We're just not going to get the same targeted muscles there. I also like to, just for myself, grab the handles and wrap up the excess. If you just want to grab the band in the middle and let the handles dangle there, that's perfectly fine, whatever you're most comfortable with. Just remember the sides of the hands here, right? We're working on pulling those out to the walls on either side of us. I'm pinching my shoulders back, and that's going to push my chest out to come and meet this band, and then we come right back into the start, right? I'd like to do 4 sets of 10 there with that one. I'm reading that clock correctly, right? Yeah, 9:39. I thought it said 9:33, and I was like, man, did I skip like 2 sets? But no, we're good. So band pull apart, 4 sets of 10. And the exercise I want to pair with that is going to be for our core. It's going to be our Russian twist, okay? If you remember, we have started to do this for 30 seconds, okay, as opposed to the 20 that we used to, all right? But since we're going to be getting 4 whole sets, okay, I think that we'll be doing pretty good to get 25 seconds today, all right? So 25 seconds for 4 sets, because there's no doubt we're going to get all 4 sets in here today. All right, for these 3, or for these 2 exercises, sorry. Just remember, if I scoop to the front of my seat and get a nice lean here, all right, again, kind of not just relying on the seat, and get a nice controlled twist. Feet up, or the feet down, excuse me. All right, we're going to go for 20 seconds. You can go with your weight, or you can go without, all right? I got my stopwatch here. Make sure we're on time. 4 sets of 25 seconds to match the 4 sets of 10 with the band. And I think I would like us to start with the band here, okay? Or dumbbells, depending on what you want to do there. So I got my resistance band here. I'm gonna wrap up some excess. And let's go ahead and do our 10 pulls. All right, I'm gonna come to my kneeling position so I don't have to move my chair as much. But let's go ahead and go right into this first set here. Ready? I'm coming out, pinching those shoulders. That's 1. Get that chest to meet the band. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Uh-oh, got my hand stuck there for a second. All right, now I'm just gonna leave the band, I'll just leave it in front of the chair. But when you find your Russian twist, I should have also said you can also be doing this on the floor as well, right? Chair or floor, with the feet elevated or on the floor with either of those positions, all right? Let's get our first set of 4, going for 25, all right? We're gonna get started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, get that nice controlled twist. Get that belly button to follow the hands, just like we talked about in the warm-up a lot, right? Or in this, with the sword pulls, wood chopper type exercises. You want that belly button going with the hands or going with the weights, depending on what you're using. 5 seconds left. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. That's 1 set down for each exercise. Let's go into our second one. And just in case people start kind of moving to that hallway, I'm gonna go close those doors here before we hit our cardio, all right? But I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna wrap up some excess here. There's nothing wrong with just grabbing the band in the middle. I just don't like the handles flopping around. That's just my personal feeling, all right? Let's go ahead and go with set number 2. Let's go right into it. Ready? Pinch those shoulders back every single rep. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Now, as we're getting set up for our Russian twist, just really quickly, on my first set, I wrapped up my hand probably 1 more time than I should have, and that first set of band pull-apart for me was pretty tough, right? So I did not wrap up that extra time on the second set, and it was a little easier. So it's really cool how that little extra distance where you're holding that band, how much of a difference that can make between sets there, all right? Now, I'm gonna go into my second set. I'll go the frontal view here, all right? Again, feet on or off, 25 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Almost started counting there again. There you go, just going for time. About 10 seconds left here, class. Keep pushing it. Have the same intensity at the end as you had at the beginning, right? Just like for the cardio coming up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. I'll do the last 2 sets from the floor. So I'm going to move this chair over here. And let's get our third set of our band pull-apart ready to go. I'm going to grab my handles here, wrap up our excess. All right, let's go ahead and go right into this third set here. Ready? Coming out and back in. That's 1. Get that band to meet the chest. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think, and 10. Very good. I'm pretty sure that's 3 sets, right? Yeah, that's 3 sets for the band. Got 1 more set, or sorry, we still got 2 sets left for the Russian twist. Only 1 left for the band pull-apart, because we're going to get all 4 of these in today. All right? So going from the floor here, class, I'm gonna go feet on and then I'll go off for the last set. But let's get 25 more seconds. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Go ahead. Nice controlled twist on the floor or on the chair. On the floor there, however far you lean back is gonna make it tougher. Keep that breathing, really important to breathe with this one too. About 7 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now, I'm gonna grab my band here for our last set of the band pull-up part, our 4th one. All right, got my excess, not access. There we go. Wrapped up here. Let's knock out this last set together. All right, let's go ahead and go right into it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. That's 4 sets on that band pull-up part down. I think hopefully we get it to 5 or something like that. Pretty sure it's 4. But we still got one more set of our Russian twist, even it out. I'll go with a front view for this one. All right. And we got 25 more seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Get that nice controlled twist. Get that belly button to follow. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Just like with all our other breathing, we're halfway through this set. Very good. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Oh, better keep the stopwatch. I need it for cardio. Now, really quickly, just going to make double sure that I know what I'm doing for my cardio. Believe it or not, I still don't have all of I don't have all 9 plans memorized from warm up to cool down yet. Let's see. Okay, got it. So cardio, we're gonna go 3 sets of 45 seconds for both exercises here, everybody. Go back to full screen. And the first exercise I have for us is gonna be a heel dig. I'm gonna get anything off the floor. I don't trip, okay? But the heel dig class, remember we have a couple different ways we can do that one. I can go with both arms going out together. Remember, we're gonna get a dig on one foot and then a dig on the other, that heel out in front. Keep those toes pulled up. I can go with both hands out, right? Or I can try to make it tougher on my brain. I can stick my left arm and my right leg out and then vice versa, okay? A little bit of a brain coordination game there with our cardio. If you want to hold a weight, you can. That might get pretty tough, especially toward the end. Okay, so that'll be our 3 sets of 45 seconds there. The exercise I want to pair with that is going to be our 2x2 side step. So I'm going to come to the side here, find my good athletic position, 2 steps over, 2 steps back. All right, that'll also be 3 sets of 45. And I'm going to remind you all of how we can modify the 2x2, right? We can get some depth, right? More hip and knee bend, okay? We can get some distance on our step, right? Cover more ground. Hopefully I didn't go off camera too far there. And we can also talk about speed, right? Go faster. But I want you to do whatever you're comfortable with there to make sure this is challenging, but you can also keep this going start to finish, all right? So let's start off with that heel dig. And I think they got a basketball practice starting over there. So I'm gonna run over it and shut those doors quick. All right. I was mistaken, it was a volleyball practice, but I just got my cardio started already there. So I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and go into our first set of that heel dig in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Go ahead, I'm going both arms out, getting that good dig. There we go. Find that pace. That's gonna challenge you here. Even with this dig, if you want to, you can even get a little bit of a knee bend on your non-digging leg, right? And we can almost kind of turn that into another little staggered stance squat there with that little press. It's almost like we're combining the chest press with that staggered stance bodyweight squat here. Got about 8 seconds left before our first transition. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. 2x2 side step. Go ahead. Cover some ground. There we go. I got a talking point for the heel dig. I got to remember it when we get back to our second set there. Hopefully I remember. There we go. Got about 20 seconds left until our next transition here, class. We'll have 1 set down on each of these exercises here soon. There we go. Get that depth, get that good distance, get that pace. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Back to the heel dig. Now, what I was going to say, class, was remember in our crossbody punch, we don't want to be punching down here after a while, right? We want to be punching shoulder height. I caught myself doing that on the last set, right? Even if you're bending your knee to get lower, keep pressing straight out front. You want to keep that good posture. Very good. Checking my time. We got 15 seconds before our next transition. Very good. Keep that pace. Maybe you're challenging your brain there a little bit too. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. 2x2. Second time through on this one. Keep that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hopefully your late summer allergies aren't bothering you too much and you can breathe fine with this movement. There we go. Make sure we continue to pick up our feet as we go. We're not just gonna let them slide on the ground. I gotta keep staying back. My body keeps wanting to move closer to that camera as I do this one. 7 seconds before our last set of the heel dig. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Heel dig here. I'm gonna challenge my brain for this last set. I'm gonna alternate. Keep punching at shoulder height. Get a little bit of bend in that back leg. Very good. Getting that coordination here. This is our last time through on this one. We've got 15 seconds before our last transition of the day. And then we're off to the cool down. Got to remember to punch shoulder height. Shoulders are getting a little tired here. 3, 2, and 1. Relax and reset. 2x2 side step. There we go. I always got to remember to try starting on one side of the camera so I don't go too far off to the side. 45 more seconds here. Try to breathe in through the nose. It might be tempting to breathe in through the mouth. You're gonna push yourself to breathe in through that nose and breathe out through the mouth. 15 seconds, we're doing great. I can see those bodies moving side to side on those little boxes I got up there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. That's it for our cardio. Grab a sip of water, catch your breath before we go into our cool down. right. Now, really quickly, while we're getting our break, I know that you don't need all that long of a break, so I better be quick. Just gonna make sure I know what I'm doing for my cool down, and I'll be right back to the Zoom. Good. I've made a couple changes to my plan here and there because we're looking at, you know, just tweaking a few things for the fall, which is coming up very quickly. If you hadn't heard me say this earlier, this is our last week for the summer session, and we'll be starting the fall back up on August 23rd, I believe. That's obviously we'll start on a Monday. I'm pretty sure August 23rd is the right day. I can check the website again, but I know we have a 2-week break in between the end of summer and the beginning of fall. So it's going to be August 23rd will be the start date for that. But like I said, I kind of changed my plan up a little bit. So I'm going to do a little different stretches than I had on my list there because we are tweaking things for the fall. But we'll go ahead and start off just kind of going off my head there, knowing what we did in the workout. I think the first stretch we can do is going to be our arm reach across, right? And we actually went double time on that one. We did our bent over row and our band pull apart, right? We would be remiss if we didn't do a good upper back stretch. So I'm going to get off my ball here to start. I love sitting on that stability ball, but find my athletic position here. And I'm going to pinch one shoulder back, bring the arm across, and I can add a nice dip of the shoulder there. And remember my stopwatch. We're going to get 30 seconds per set today, except for the hamstrings. That'll be a little longer. And I like being in the athletic position when we add that dip because we are leaning forward slightly, and I want to make sure that you're in a good balanced position if you're going to choose that. But just remember, adding the dip to the shoulder is just an option. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just think it adds a little extra stretch there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Let that arm come back and dangle. Come out of that stretch with control, right? Just like with every other upper body stretch especially. Now, let's pinch that shoulder back. Bring the arm across on the other side. Remember not to brace on the elbow. You can go upper arm or forearm. I prefer forearm, but some people like to brace on the upper arm. Remember that breathing here. About 10 seconds left here, class, and then we'll move on. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now from here, class, we did a little bit of twisting, all right? And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually want to do that with the Hollywood stretch, so we'll do it later, okay? The stretch I want to do now will actually get the quadriceps and the front of the hips. So we're going to go with our 3 options there. We have our staggered stance quadriceps stretch, and I better tweak my camera for that. Staggered stance quadriceps stretch. We can be at a wall or chair for that one, right? Lift that back heel, push the hips forward, and bend that back knee to get that stretch to go from the front of the hip down the quadricep. Got that chair next to you. You can go with your standing quad pull. Oops, as I lose my balance there, which was actually my next point, was that both of those 2 stretches do provide that good balance challenge. Or we can go with the assisted chair lunge, all right? We'll go ahead and start whichever one you'd like here. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. I got 30 seconds going on my timer. There we go. About 20 seconds left. For this side, I'm continuing to think a little bit. I'm kind of improvising here a little bit. I did tweak the workout and I forgot to tweak my cool down. Oops. 3 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch legs here, but continue doing the stretch that you were doing before. I'm going to go with I don't do this one very often. I'm going to do this one this time. There we go. 30 more seconds. Again, getting that nice balance challenge there. Make double sure that you've got that chair next to you. If you want to challenge yourself even more with these two, you can lift your hands away from that chair or wall and then just have it there if you lose your balance. Right there to grab it quickly. About 7 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, some of you might be sitting already. Some of you might be standing still, depending on which option you chose there. I'd actually like us all to come to sitting. And I'd like us to try our back scratch test from a sitting position. All right? And standing with the back scratch is different than sitting. It's very similar to the arm reach across, right? When we're sitting, it might be a little easier to get our back to round out. I should probably show a side view. I've been hearing a lot of weird creaks and groans in this room the last week. But anyway, we want to make sure that we're sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to bring my right arm up and over and my left arm down and around. You can use the back of the seat if you want to. And we're only going to go for 20 seconds on each side here because of the breathing challenge. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. Because of the breathing challenge, we're going to hold this for not quite as long. About 8 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Come out of this with some control there. And we'll do the other side. I'm liking a side view for this one more and more as I do it because I can show that posture, right? Instead of being here, we want to be big chest, pinch the shoulders, right? Let's go ahead and do the other side. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. I'm not quite as flexible with my left arm going up as I am with my right side. I think that's pretty normal. About 8 seconds to go. Once again, keep that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Yeah, I'm quite a bit more tight on the left side going up than the right. So that's definitely something for me to work on there too. Now moving on, I mentioned the Hollywood stretch. I would like us to go into that one next. Because I believe we did the standing torso twist at the wall last week quite a bit. So I want to make sure we do this one now to keep the variety going. So if I'm in the chair, I'm gonna turn 45 degrees. I'm gonna make sure I'm sitting up nice and tall. Now I've got my exposed corner. Ooh, got a couple cracks in there. I can turn my torso toward that exposed corner. Or we can go with the more classic seated back twist or Hollywood stretch, where I cross the leg over. Now, if it's the right leg that crosses over, turn your belly button into that leg, meaning I'm turning to the right. Okay, same side of the crossed over leg, and you get a nice twist. Now, if you're on the floor and you've got that leg crossed over, go ahead and start if you haven't already. Sorry. If you've got that leg crossed over, not only can you get a good back twist, but if you pull that knee closer to your body, you might get a little bit of a glute stretch in there too. About 15 seconds left before we switch sides. I'm going to go back to the chair for the second half of this stretch. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. I'm going to go back to the chair, like I said, 30 more seconds. And I want to run our hamstring stretch a little differently than I have in the past, right? We'll still have our classic hamstring stretch, but I want to give another floor option there that we do in the face-to-face classes quite a bit, but not as much in the online. 3, 2, 1, relax. Good. Now, like I said earlier class, or just then, is we can go with our classic hamstring stretch, right? If I scoot to the front, dig my heels in, get a nice lean forward, keeping that back flat, you can get a good stretch there. I'd like to hold that one for about 40 or so seconds. But what I'd also like to do is show you our floor option. And I'm quite positive that you've all done this one before. But we can also go with a hamstring stretch that involves bending one leg. As you see there, I'm bending one leg in, and this might actually benefit more from a frontal view with the camera down. There we go. But yep, just sticking one leg out here and then kind of crossing one so the sole of your shoe is up against that leg. And if I dig my heel and raise my knee and lean forward, I can get a very similar stretch than the one we do in the chair. Now what I'll have us do is we'll hold this side. Why don't we go for 30 since I'm doing both? We'll go 30 seconds here and then 30 seconds here. If you're in the chair, we'll hold that one for about a minute. All right, and a minute, 60 seconds is about the end range of how long you want to hold these stretches. 15 to 60 seconds is where you want to be with this one. So we'll go ahead, pick a leg here. If you want to try this on the floor, if you want to go with the chair, you can do that too. But I'm going to pick a leg. I'll go for 30 seconds on one side. Just kind of reach, try to keep that back nice and flat. And again, maybe a side view will be kind of good for this, just to show that my knee is bent, right? My leg isn't perfectly flat. I'm trying to keep my back nice and straight. I'm leaning forward. I'm getting a very similar stretch there as I do in the chair, all right? About 5 more seconds and then we'll switch. Could be doing the single leg hamstring there in the chair too. I kind of forgot about that. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch. If you're doing single leg, go ahead and switch. If you're doing double leg for anything, go ahead and just continue doing what you're doing. Try to keep that back nice and flat. Got to remind myself to do that as well. About 10 more seconds here, class. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. So that's all that I have for you for today.